Once God created the sun, a hot energy, and it interacted with cold energy, which was the water up on the face of the earth. It created and caused an electromagnetic generator field that circles the earth. And when you get the electromagnetic generator field is born, then you have a new form of substance of energy which comes from the two negative and positive energies. When the negative energy is the water and the positive energy in the sun, when they interact with each other, it can create a revolution because there is unlike energies. And when they're unlike energy, it creates an electromagnetic field, and then we get weather patterns and all this. We get thunder and lightning, winter, hot and cold mix. We get the moon, we get the hurricane, we get the waves, tidal wave, we get the barometric pressure. We get something on this planet that we can't find on the moon or any other moon place where there is a stable single energy. Earth have that. So what this does tells us, with this energy, God knew what it had created when he did this, and he created that man, a warm-blooded creature, to be upkeepers of the earth. In this electromagnetic field, generator field, man could use this energy if he pursued the way of knowledge to create vehicles, airplanes, all kind of technology. But without that new spirit being born, man could not do this. But by man being a warm-blooded creature, he take this energy and if he went and pursued knowledge, he could take and create all these things. And when he started studying wars against each other through this new form of energy, he could make weapons of mass destruction. That's what God was talking about when he spoke to Adam and Eve, when he knew Adam and Eve was a warm-blooded creature. He knew he had two diverse settings in order to create a habitat for that man to live, and he had to have a diverse habitat for the whole entire earth to live. We all as creatures indifferent, but we live all from the substance of this earth. God had to create an environment or season where all could survive in the same habitat, yet they be somewhat indifferent. This is what God did. That's the way it was. But that man, when the man come, the mindset of the man, when God told him to do not take on the fruit, don't eat of the fruit of knowledge, good and evil. This was a precautionary, because once he go to this here, this was a symbol of the technology that he was going to use. The tree of knowledge is the technology which you obtained in school to create something good out of it, but it will end the result, it will end in evil. This would be the tree. That's what God was telling us about. But God used the tree of knowledge of good and evil as symbols, as it happened. But when he placed the serpent and said the serpent came among them, he was close to the man. He was letting us know that since the minds of the people would be our closest friend, but be our adversary in the end, to cause us to take and use the way of knowledge, to alienate and to dominate other peoples and other nations. And at that time, God will have to come in and change the dynamics of the mindset of man from what it had taken him, partaking and pursuing the way of knowledge. There is another part. I'm not going to the part where he created man. You should know the story about now. But I will read chapter 2 of Genesis. Thus the heavens and the earth. Let me take this down, because this is what I showed you. This is the reason I want to bring this here to, that God used this for a regulator. Because what had happened was, when God created the earth and made it, once he brought the sun there, and he put the moon there with the sun, it became the regulator, keep the sun from overheating the earth and scorching the earth. So it created season. The moon is called season. Now, when that man out of evil, he know that God created this stuff, and I've spoke this more than one time. It's been in the work for the last 3 years. If he go and he put a explosive device up here using nuclear capability, and he denies God and he don't have a covenant with God, he's going to do anything to try to destroy the entire earth. So the habitat of man to turn back time because he got to meet his maker. The rich man have to stand in judgment. The poor man stand in judgment. And the man that have separated himself from Christ and have made a covenant with death and hell, he's going to do everything he can to try to change time. That including try to exterminate every black man that's had this serving God. Try to leave God. Try to destroy every man on the face of this earth that serve God. But what he gonna do? He gonna use one man against the other. And he gonna lie and say this man. He gonna lie and says that man. He gonna lie and say this nation. He gonna lie and say that nation. But at the end result, as God said, he will come to his end. It's in Revelation chapter 17, and there will not be anybody to help him. In Daniel chapter 12, it says he will come to his end. Well, regardless, and the Revelation chapter 12, it said he'll come to his end. I'm going to take this down here, and so I want to go back to Abraham. But I had to bring this here up here to show you where I'm at today. Now, excuse me. God, I don't have to go and tell you where first man. I've been through that so many times. This is where he is. This is the man right here. This is the man. He used the technology to use the electromagnetic generator field, which was caused by God placing the sun and the moon as above the earth, which you can't find this on any other planet. If you create a device and send it to another planet, it cannot charge itself on that planet. It only can charge itself with solar panels come from the sun. Because outside of the earth, there's no electromagnetic generator field. It cannot run electromagnetic generator field. It has to convert over to a solar panel, which charge the system from the sun. If you don't have solar panel, then you don't have a positive energy. It has to go run by a positive energy, come from an energy source, which gives off energy without a commixture of two energies, negative and positive, like the water and sun. That's the way it is. But on Earth here, the cars and vehicles that can run and recharge their system, and the computers and stuff in charge their system, as long as they don't go out to space, they won't charge because there's no electromagnetic generator outside of the Earth. They have to resort to solar panels. This is where it is. But they say it came by way of accident. That's what the man said. What I'm trying to show you is what we see in the creation of the earth had to be created by an intelligence design. And that intelligent design is God. So, God knew what the man was going to do. He knew there was going to be a great exploitation. So when he went, and because of this man here, he chose Abraham to be the part that united that man, give that man a chance, because he knew God knew how he was conceived. But he knew that this man heart, he was going to try to be a dominant nation upon the face of the earth, and he was going to take that, he was going to spy the truth. But when God created the sun and the moon there, and he put the man in the habitat where he placed this man, he had to have a high pigment count in order to protect his inner organ from the deadly heat rays of the sun. This way God had to create this man. And when done so, God created this man to protect his inner organ. His thin skin was thick for a purpose and a reason from where God placed him. And he just happened to become a black man because of those extra layers of skin God placed in his body. not because he was a cursed man.